What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Lex Veldhuis, and we're here for episode 2 of the £250,000 short deck tournament that was recorded last year in London. We see here Justin Bonomo with the chip lead, a massive chip lead at that, and Daniel Cates in second. Some other short deck beasts at the table. It's gonna be a fun viewing. We saw some big pots. Jungle Man got a bit lucky with Ace King versus Kings, even though luck is all relative in short deck. And then, of course, Justin Bonomo knocked out the monster Tan Xuan with the Ace Jack versus Queens. Episode 1 is on YouTube. You don't want to miss it to catch the whole story. Really happy to bring you guys some poker action in the time where there are no live tournaments. It's nice to show some fresh new content.
What?
What'd you say? That's priceless.
It's pretty fun.
It's priceless. It's worth more than the money because it's fun, right?
Is it heads up?
So you're saying
Yes,
you
sir.
can't buy your chips?
I remember an ace also counts as a 5, so ace 6, 7, 8 makes a straight. That means that Cary Katz does have a gut shot here, if you're wondering why he has such a big chance to actually win this hand. We are playing short deck. Flushes beat full houses. Deuces, 3s, 4s, and 5s are out. Aces count as 5. That's pretty much it. Blind structure a bit different.
I'll show you the bad one.
Button is last stack pre-flop.
Had me beat.
Pretty much have a whole table on a small ante, and then the button on a big ante functioning as a small blind, big blind structure.
Must have been some paint.
Yeah, had a good hand pre-flop. Not on that flop.
A good flop for paint. Very good flop for the crappy big blind hand.
Gorski out. Made some big shoves, that's why he's been able to keep his stack up to level.
Probably getting a walk, because I just don't want to mess with you. Too hard to win 2 in a row with you.
Love how Cary Katz always talking.
I should be limping, but it's like 100% you raise, so I'm just going to fold.
I had a good hand to jam with too.
Yeah, you're not going to jam.
Justin, I've got good news and bad news for you. The good news for you is
No, give me the. I want the bad news first.
All right, the bad news is that I don't think this tournament is public.
No, it's not.
Okay with that?
They may do it down the road, but not anytime soon.
So you may not, even if you win this, you may not surpass.
He wouldn't pass him anyways.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't come closer to surpassing Grant.
Brent's up by 10 mil now. Oh no, you want something big.
I don't care
Not that far behind.
that much about it. Like, it would be cool to pass them, but I'm not gonna like hold my breath.
I'll tell you, Justin will definitely play more tournaments than Brent.
But I do have good news.
You think
for
so?
Probably twice as many. He doesn't play a lot.
I would have guessed the opposite. Would have been true.
Yeah.
Wait, so what's the good news?
Jungle Man back into focus.
240.
It's at,
That's the good
with a
news.
chip leader
240.
and with a $5.8 million first place prize.
But I have even better
That's the
news
good
for
news. The dominant chip leader.
I don't know the dominant jungle as chips.
Gorski here has 50 antes. Definitely very juicy. We see a lot of all-ins with Ace Jack from 50 to 70 to 80 antes. And of course everything below as well. Gonna call. I love some way, somehow, Patgorski sniffs out these spots really well.
That, I tried to get a lucky bracelet and I couldn't find my lucky bracelet. I tried to get a bracelet.
Not just every bracelet's gonna be lucky.
Patgorski outflops Jungle Man. Of course, this flat call pre-flop is gonna have something to do with the fact he has position. Position, a very important aspect of this game, as the game is very dynamic. Equities run close. That means that hands have good chance to beat another hand. Really good board coverage for hands as well.
375.
So turns and rivers are very hard to be blanks. That's why the game is so dynamic. I really wonder what Patgorski's gonna do here. I think we might just see a jam. Cutting out chips. There's lots of hands he could jam here with. Think about Queen 10. 10-9. There we go, he goes all in. Yeah. And tell from the agony on Jungle Man's face, this is not an easy call. Problem is that if somebody has an open and a straight draw, they're gonna have close to 50%.
Do you mind if I call my friends to sweat it?
Run twice? Run twice?
Is he gonna FaceTime his friends for the sweat?
Is it okay if I get a rail?
No, guess not.
Wow,
Okay.
that's the first one.
36% still for Jungle Man. Doesn't do it, so a big double up for Gabe Patgorski.
Alright, you can call him.
No friends there to reel him, but he'll be happy just the same.
And the worse move than before. It's 1.6, right?
1.7.
Get your friends over the sweat. This is a serious game, Jungle Man's thinking. Very tough hands. I can understand Jungle Man is in some pain on that one.
What was the action pre on that hand?
Jungle raised.
Oh, we did. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yep. Should've kept my lucky bracelet.
Here, take on the file.
Yeah, rough hand there for Jungle Man. Justin Bonomo has position most hands on him. Now has a commanding lead. Can definitely put a lot more pressure on Jungle Man. Jungle Man was able to take a big chunk out of Justin in the case they would clash and he wins, but now they would only trade stacks, pretty much. Good follow-up hand for the jungle here, though. Maybe he
Can
can
you put the black chips forward? I can't see. Just there's some
Put some
behind
back.
there. Thank you.
That was such a tilted way to put the black chips on top. He's like, leave me alone, dude. Justin Bonomo, one of the strongest hands. Gabe Patgorski here, 100 antis. Well, this time it's multi-way. He has somebody behind him. There's 640,000 in the middle because of all the antis.
On.
Yeah, there he goes. All in this time. Yeah. Even though they're more vulnerable, it's still one of the best hands you can get. We can see now that at this point Patgorski covers Jungle Man, so Jungle Man is playing for his tournament life here. I believe Ace King is a small favorite in short deck against Queens. It is very crazy. If these stacks were shorter and Jungle Man would call here, then Justin Bonomo would have a reasonable spot. I don't know if 100 antis counts as a reasonable spot, especially with ICM considerations, meaning that pay jumps will make people's ranges tighter because of the fear of busting out and, of course, the risk of busting out. He does make the call.
Can I get a count on his stack, please?
Yeah, and here we go. Justin Bonomo is going to take a closer look at this because if you know that two people are going to have high card-oriented hands, your Jack 10 suited looks juicy.
I think the ranges are even better for me. And there's dead range. I don't see how I can fold this.
Yeah. It is almost better to call all-in three-way when two people are showing strength than it would be heads up.
3.64.
Just because of the card removal factor.
That's 4,090,000.
Justin Bonomo wins pretty much most low boards. It is a very big call to make. But we've seen Justin Bonomo disregard ICM or pay jumps in the past.
Can you, I need to see the clock, please. The whole thing, please. Thank you.
He is looking at payouts. Justin Bonomo has a little bit of a different idea of ICM. It's not so much as how much do you risk in terms of payouts, but more so like, can I get myself in a position to finish first or second a very high percentage of the time. This is a very tough decision. Usually in tournaments where equities run close, you want to be a bit tighter in all-ins.
You never have backs, like... I think I'm just super live every time.
Everything he says talks himself towards a call.
I'm all in.
There we go.
Whoa, this is a big ass pot.
Take the words out of my mouth.
Okay, okay.
I knew it was that hand.
Plus 9.
Yeah, Jack 10 suited. It's the
10 to
classic
call 9,
overcall. Two all-ins.
Yeah, I think you have to call that hand.
I mean, in a cash game, it's a snap call, but...
Yeah, he's right.
I think you did in this.
Whoa.
Especially if they both have ace king.
won, baby.
You have to dominate.
Well, there's a lot of money in this pot.
Yeah, this is a
real
big
money.
pot. We're either gonna have Justin Bonomo with 16 million.
You guys want to just take our money back?
You just want a lot of lows.
No.
I could put the equities
No
in.
fucking way.
Oh, you have a three-way calculator?
Or a 12 million chip leader if any of the two others
Oh,
win.
I think there's one in the App Store, actually.
Whatever that equity is, you don't even know.
Here comes the flop. Oh. That's the king for Patgorski. Insurance.
Can I buy? How much is that? 5 outs?
Lots of outs for Justin Bonomo. 23% to win. Patgorski now goes up to 62. That's actually surprising. This is not that bad. Be up against 5 outs now. Only a 10 will do it for Justin Bonomo. Jungle Man
No buy.
still looking for that queen.
Actually, yeah. Yeah, okay. Can I? What's it pay? 4 out.
Luckily, didn't you?
That's an 8. Patgorski takes it down. That's actually a very small sweat for short deck, and that's GG for Jungle Man. Too bad to see him go. Justin Bonomo drops down to 4.4 million. I believe that still has him in second place,
Good game, Jungle.
which definitely makes it more of a call, knowing that you're still going to be in second after
90,000?
Patgorski now. Around 12 million, massive chip leader. Jungle Man takes down 1.36 million pounds. No clue how many bullets he has spent though. Look at this. This is a sight for sore eyes. Very nice.
Oh my god.
I've never rooted for you so hard before.
You lost one player, at least.
Yeah. What? What wasn't that good?
Oh, that's why you're telling me I was supposed to call, because you want me still getting in there more.
What a pot.
What? No. I want you to feel good.
Justin Bonomo, good attitude after losing that big hand.
Hey, that qualifies as a heater, right?
The
Never
one hand
felt this good before, Cary. This is awesome. To be honest, this is awesome.
You deserve it, man.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I don't know if I do, but
No,
it feels
got,
great.
You've got deep in a lot of things. You deserve to run good in one.
You know, Cary, I
your
always liked you, and I hope me and you get heads up.
That's a good.
Alright, here we see some
Yeah,
payouts. The
you can even
champion will
have the
take
outstep
home
to
almost
10 to 1
5 million pounds.
Just hammered in every hand.
Gets the heart beating for sure. Every player at the table guaranteed 1.7 million pounds, but
It's almost unbelievable.
it's really important to
It is
finish up
unbelievable.
top.
It's a
300 antes. Justin Bonomo still with 100
I got walking
antes.
chips.
Cary Katz loved to see that. No wonder he was rooting for Justin Bonomo. 2 people busting could have made him 2.5 million instantly. Crazy how these high stakes tournaments work. Of course, we're
I know, I've been playing tight.
almost used to this from the Triton tour that we see the
But
craziest
he was
numbers.
saying earlier the Gabe factor, and he always just is suspicious of me.
It wasn't suited. Easy. But you wouldn't have called. Free fall probably.
Yeah.
All right, I check. Free flop for the chip leader, Gabe.
I'm just waiting for top 2 or better.
That's a good flop. Patgorski now with an open ender. 40% against the top and bottom pair of Katz. Katz even has the 8 of clubs as well, which does help a little bit. Unbelievable. The first place prize is almost 5 million. This tournament was a pop-up tournament. Hey, let's do another tournament. Let's do a £250,000 buy-in. Sure, why not? Patgorski chip leading it. Will be career high score for him. Seen him go deep in tons of tournaments, but hasn't raised a trophy very often, even though he's one of the better short deck players. But the game is so volatile, he'll get his time in the sun. He's looking good now. Cary Katz bets 325. 1.2 million behind, 2 flush draws on board. They're hard to hit, but they're still there. Goes all in. Cary Katz insta folds. Nice. Good job. Didn't even think about it.
Taking the free card.
You might have beat my straight.
I know. I had a 2 pair. Ay, ay, ay.
Oh, Cary Katz.
Very sneaky.
Impressive
Right
folds.
into your trap.
Reducing the clock
Yeah.
by 5 minutes because
Okay.
more than 50%.
Yeah, they're gonna go down by 5 minutes every time they
45
bust
minute levels
somebody.
now?
45 minutes left.
Alright, levels are shorter. It's good to see. Short deck tournaments can end up very deep and very slow at the final few players. So over the years, there has been players advocating to shorten the clock.
6-hour 3-handed battle.
Patgorski putting pressure from under the gun. Really gonna step his foot on the gas here. Aaron Shunu Zhang, of course, the winner of the Triton Millions. It's not gonna go anywhere. Won the biggest tournament in the history of televised poker.
3.5 million.
Patgorski saving some face here.
Yeah, a three-way all in. Ace, king, queens versus 10 jack suited.
Shouldn't have crossbooked me, dude.
What'd you have? Did he crossbook you? Yeah.
If someone crossbook you,
First time I've swapped in tournament was
now he pissed his pants.
How much? 10?
3 of me for 4 of it. When we had not a lot of people.
He had a lot more chips though. So
Nice deal. I thought.
pre-tournament, he's not getting 3 from 4.
Yeah, I was about to say that'd be a little.
Especially after seeing how he busted, I would never do that.
Tom Dwan has a piece of Gabe there. Guys know each other really well, playing cash games all the time. Kyle, Philippines, anywhere really. Everybody has seen the pictures, private games on Jets. These guys won't let a moment go by without action. It's really awesome that we can be a fly on the wall during these tournaments that Richard Young and Paul Poa created on the Triton Tour. Yeah, good flop for Bonomo. Is going to put a small bet out there just to get people to fold some equity against his hand. Going to be very hard to play on free cards.
What do you have, like 900,000 roughly?
It's around a mil. Sorry, I'll get it in decent stacks here.
Thanks.
Yeah, so around 25 andes for Cary Katz, which is about comparable, I would say, with like 8 or 9 big lines. In no limit hold'em. Just a rough estimate. I think this hand is going to do it for Cary. Really interesting to see how Patgorski's going to play this out. Aaron Zhang still on 100 antis. Him and Bonomo quite equal, so definitely the people Patgorski's gonna try and pressure. The short stack in this scenario doesn't have anything to lose. They're short by a really big margin compared to the other stacks, so you want to target the stacks that actually have a lot to lose, and in this case that would be Aaron Zhang and Justin Bonomo. They both have 100 antis, lots of room to play, but definitely don't want to bust out before the 25 anti stack goes out. And the pay jumps are obscene, so you really want to take those into account.
There we go. 30s. And change.
So the bottom's
It's
900.
Nice little turn there for Gabe, takes it down.
Yeah, man. Always just hanging around and last. Just spectating. Just watching.
Don't worry, I'll try to knock some people out for you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you almost made me a lot of money on that hand. Extra, you would have made me an extra 500,000. That'd be nice.
Yep,
That
that's
would've
all
been
it
nice.
takes. Let's see how willing Patgorski is to get down and dirty, because Jack 6 offsuit is the absolute trash. He does get away from it. Jack 6 offsuit is like the 7 deuce no limit hold'em. 7-6 offsuit is like the 3 deuce no limit hold'em.
1.1 million.
They'll still perform better, especially the 7-6 will perform a bit better against good hands
1.1.
than they would in no limit hold'em.
Alright, I check.
Cary Katz can rep any single hand because he's on the button. Definitely could have made a case for going all in pre-flop. I mean, you're on the short stack by far. You're facing 2 guys with 4 million and 1 with 13 million, so you really want to take every spot you can to get some chips. There is a chance he's sort of trapping with that hand, but as soon as somebody limps, there's 4 or 5 antis out there to steal, and chips are very, very useful right now for him. If you can gain 20-25% of your stack by shoving with a good hand, that's still vulnerable. Like you see here now, he gets outdrawn by the King 8.
That was the discipline.
Those are hands he
Raise
really,
Jack 6 against
really needs to win.
Played it weak, and he was weak.
Almost had the nut low there with King Queen. That's the worst possible hand you could have without a pair on their boards or a straight.
Check.
Patgorski limping along. You're gonna see a lot of limping, aka just calling pre-flop in this game. There's so many antis out there that you get insane odds. Of course, that's more so with a full table than short-handed. But then again, you don't have to contest with as many hands short-handed as you do full ring. So you're gonna see a lot of people calling. Takes a step, gets it done. Justin Bonomo with an any 2 kind of hands because he's on the button in a limped pot. Gabe Patgorski, of course, limped from earlier position, so he's gonna make a better claim for the Ace King Queen board. Aaron Zhang, really nice guy. Gonna call. I think we're gonna see a lot of calls out of Aaron and Bonomo now because they don't really want to blow up a pot and get in a situation where Patgorski could just rip it with ace-10 suited. They're not in a situation where they want to call it off with ace-queen at this point, just because of Cary Katz's short stack and the pay jumps. Bonomo flops a set, Patgorski with a gut shot. Bonomo kind of banking on the fact that Patgorski will try to rip the low card board, I think. Gets a bet out of it. Now the question arises, how fast do you play this? You start emptying the clip. The set has an unbelievable percentage against the straight.
$500.
He's gonna raise 500. Patgorski has that straight draw. Gut shots are very powerful in this game. You can compare gut shots in short deck to open-ended straight draws in No Limit Hold'em. And the open-ended straight draws are more like the open-ended straight flush draws. Gonna lay it down. There are going to be situations, of course, where you hit your 7, somebody is Jack 10.
How much do you have now, Gabe? That's a fun question, isn't it? When you're the chip leader, you don't mind asking. It's when you're short. You know?
Yeah, yeah, it takes a second to count it up though.
You got
Maybe 11 or 12?
Yeah.
About 12? How many chips total we got? 7, 8.
How much did Jungle have when he rejammed? Did Gabe have? You had him covering?
3.64 cover.
Okay.
Cary Katz cracking down the math. Another opportunity for him to go all in. King Queen will perform well enough. 22 antes. Come on, Cary. I like where Cary's head's at. Lots of times on a final table, you can get in a situation where you... Let's say he would go all in for 22 antes, and then 2 people behind him with ace, king, and kings or aces go all in. You really lose the option of folding out a weaker hand, like king, queen would be in that spot, and just letting 2 big stacks go all in against each other, perhaps catching a pay jump. Now, you want to avoid that the dealer can call pre-flop with really good odds.
I give you a good price.
Yes.
All that money.
Very good price.
I feel like the fine line there could be something like raise it to 350. If 2 people go all in, you fold. If 1 person goes all in, and you're obviously pot committed. But it's definitely a strategy that applies really well in No Limit Hold'em as well, where you'll see people with 20 big blind stacks that want to go all in, make it 9 big blinds. See what happens. That is an ace for Aaron Zhang. Cary Katz. Pain in his heart. It's in a bet. I like that he bets that small. It's very much a lockdown board. A hand like 10-9 or 10-8. Hands that could bluff him on future streets are just gonna fold. Obviously, Aaron not gonna get rid of the ace for a small bet. 3 pair doesn't change anything. Guess he gains some outs against a possible ace with a higher kicker now by making a boat if he hits another 7. Cary Katz in quite the pickle here. Also kind of put himself into it. I really wonder if this is gonna work. I like this though. Oh, it's so disgusting. When you see this, when you have a7, you're disgusted. Like, all your alarm bells are going off. Really makes you want to throw up. And then you call. King. Quite a bad card for Cary Katz. He does make a pair, but it's a fake sense of security. Aaron saying, I like that he doesn't continue. Aaron Zhang can now chop with his ace-7 against hands as strong as ace-queen, so bluffs are less likely to get through, especially seeing that Cary only has 40% of the pot left. I like the fact that he gives up. I do think that he had chances earlier in the hand to take this down. And he's really not gonna like that news, because ace-7 is definitely not a hand he would be playing against normally.
Too good of a price.
Yeah, and now he's exactly that. He realizes his mistake. He's down to 10 antes. Give you an idea of how little 10 antes is. When you go all in from 10 antes with just a button left, people will almost call you with any 2 cards. Yeah, tough spots. I think it's very important to hammer home that at a certain point when you're the shortest stack at the table by a mile on the final table, you can't really treat pay jumps like pay jumps. Of course you want to be aware of other stacks being able to collide together.
学大少，
Maybe Justin Bonomo will do him a favor here.
到决赛线。
Gonna call. I really like this. Very smart play by Justin. Of course, we talked earlier about the fact that he's gonna have to call a lot because you want the chip leader to do exactly what he does here. Look at the money that's in the pot now, and now you get to decide how big to make it. It's a big problem to play super deep. If he would have just opened here to 240, 260, and then the chip leader calls in position, your aces are gonna be so hard to play post-flop. Justin Bonomo is trying to make this a pre-flop war, and so far he's succeeding.
Almost like I just bought in. Shit.
Wonder if he just shows or makes it something like 1.2.
All in.
Goes all in. Patgorski posturing for a second just to make it seem like he doesn't just raise any 2 whenever Justin limps. And it might seem like you don't gain that many chips, but there's still some out there, but it's just so hard to play out of position, deep stacked, when somebody can pummel you into the ground with a short stack there, so... I really like the limp from Justin. This also protects his future limps now, right? So if he calls in the future, Patgorski knows that it's not just a face-up, hey, I don't want this pot to get big. If you raise me, I'll fold. It's the bottom now with Queen Jack. Inched his way up to 5 million. It's gonna check. This hand plays so much differently if he's the chip leader or not. Now he just wants to see the flop. He doesn't want to get limp raised. And what a flop at that. Patgorski flops top pair. Aaron Zhang. I'd prefer Aaron Zhang's hand over Patgorski's hand just because you have better outs to improve and beat made hands. Also, you block lots of strong 2 pairs. Ace-X is just relatively shit. Justin Bonomo, of course, with the goods here. 2 spades on board. Flush draws aren't that big of a concern. He's just gonna flat. So 3-way. Justin also with position. The 9 on the turn doesn't change anything. Patgorski knows he's gonna get quite some respect from people. Not because they think he has a good hand, but because he can knock them out of the tournament. So both people calling has to be some sort of bad news. It's the bottom of double flush draw board. It would be very likely for the chip leader to keep barreling a spade draw though. Or even a diamond draw at that, to be honest. So I don't think from Patgorski's side he's worried about a flush. Aaron Zhang might definitely have some in his range. Would make sense for him to limp a suited hand after the chip leader limps. Bonomo bets little under pot. gets rid of him. Obviously didn't want to this hand, but another pot for him. It's up to, let's say close to 6 million there. 3-way pot, lots of money in there. Oh, 5.5. Rip my maths. A good spot. Cary Katz just hoping for his stacks to collide. He really is. He's below the danger zone. He has 1 foot out the window. Cary Katz now just seems like kind of planning to just kind of ride it out. Sometimes at a certain point in the final table or when you're deep in a tournament, a pay jump or a cash, you know, you see this right on the bubble. Somebody going all in for 2 big blinds with some sort of debatable hand. Doesn't do any good. If you fold till nothing, you can cash, and that's something at least. And if you double from 2 to 4 big blinds, you're still looking pretty grim. So, judging from what Cary Katz is doing here, it seems like that's the strat he wants to go for. Just hope that these guys will clash in the last few hands that he has chips, but at the same time, stylistically, it hasn't had that kind of sense.
Could I get a waiter, please?
Maybe if you have a guy like Tan Xuan here who really blows some pots up, or you know, some other players that could be a consideration. There we see Cary Katz, 7 antes.
2 orders. Thank you.
Gabe Patgorski still in firm command with 300. Cary Katz here hoping for a 500,000 money jump.
All in.
He's gonna go all in here.
Count, please.
$270.
7 antes. Yeah, I like that Justin Bonomo gets out of dodge. If he flats there, Patgorski kind of gets free reign, because knowing that the short stack is already all in,
80,000 in the pot first. Yeah.
you can push other stacks around very much as a chip leader. So Justin Bonomo doesn't put himself in a spot to get squeezed. Aaron Zhang is just gonna call here. Like I said, it's gonna be any 2 at this point. Alright. 73 entries in a £250,000 tournament. Would have ever thought poker would have gone this way with high rollers like this? Here we go. Cary Katz's tournament live. In firm control of this hand. 79%. That's insane for short deck. That's that queen of spades that blocks him out. Ooh, there's an 8 though. No worries, still a favorite. Not the worst card in the deck. Hey, I'm still 57% favorite.
Pretty amazing turn.
Don't worry about me. Went from 80 to 60% favorites, but is now
I
losing.
like your optimism.
What a crazy game. That's gonna do it.
Yeah,
Cary
that's
Katz.
what
Good game.
Good game.
Really nice talking to you, man.
Always nice to see at the table.
Short deck.
Sure.
Takes his wins as well as his losses. Losses as well as his wins. 1.7 million pounds
So I can use headphones?
to his impressive resume.
Listen to music?
Now everybody guaranteed 2.2 million pounds.
我有200、400、
Definitely getting to that point where you're happy.
400、
Obviously, you are always happy when you win a lot of money, but when you have a big stack, you also have to look at like what's my value and what's my outlook. And I think now we're reaching the part where these gentlemen are going to be very happy that they at least got top 3 with their stacks.
Just like straight ICM, chat.
Yeah, I think save some time. I don't want to play too tight. But if you want to take advantage of me, I totally understand.
I mean, we're playing for a lot of money, right?
Yeah, we can do chop and play casuals and stuff. I'm so tired.
Maybe, how about let's wait till the bathroom break?
Yeah, okay, yeah, we talk about it. No problem.
Three-handed guys are discussing some sort of deal or what possibilities there be. Saw some people say ICM chops. straight draws here. He needs a 10 to win. Have 20% tie on this board. That's a straight for Justin Bonomo. Still 11% to tie. I will never lose my surprises over the percentages in short deck.
That's 275.
75 from Bonomo. Looking grim for Patgorski. Plays very deep now again. Bonomo in second. Adds on a bit more. It's definitely getting closer. Now Bonomo can also put a big dent into Patgorski if he'd like. It's going to be very awesome to see these three gentlemen square off in their three-handed short deck play. They're playing for £5 million, as we can see here. Gabe Patgorski,
Yeah, I'll go Patgorski,
now the
then we
chip
can
leader. Can
talk
Justin Bonomo catch up or Anzang make a comeback? We'll see next time on episode 3 of the Triton Super High Roller Series. My name is Lex Veldhuis. See you next time.